Hello folks and welcome to Paddock Pass, the 2017, it is 2017, Australian Grand Prix edition. It's another year, another season beginning here under beautiful blue skies in Melbourne, and a season of massive expectation. New rules, new regulations, new aggressive looking cars. They are very fast. Pre-season testing in Barcelona has been and gone. Seeing them trackside, I can confirm they do look incredible. These guys are going to be put through their paces this year. They're going to be faster, more physical, and who knows, we could have a new world champion at the end of the season, or certainly somebody different to Mercedes AMG Petronas. Lewis Hamilton there says that Ferrari are the favourites. Ferrari say they think Mercedes might be the favourites, and Daniel Ricciardo here is just hoping to get on the podium at his home race. So let's start with the home hero. How is Daniel Ricciardo feeling coming in to the Australian Grand Prix? How are you, mate?
Splendid.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. A nation expects. No pressure. Can you deliver?
I can deliver. Yeah. I can deliver a good pizza delivery. What do they got? They got Uber Eats now. They got a few of those things. What are you after? What, on a motorbike, scooter, push bike?
Whatever you want.
Single speed?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right. I can do that.
Are they going to be disappointed this weekend? Can you get that win, or even the podium that they crave so much?
I would like to say a podium, is within reach. So yeah, hopefully if I do get on the podium, that should be enough for them. But you know what, I don't really feel like, I feel, somewhat it's like a pressure, but it's not really. It's like I just feel that everyone wants to see me do well here. They want like their home, boy to cheer on. So I don't feel like if I don't get a podium, they're going to be like, he's crap, we're done with him. I know if I race as hard and as best as I can, no matter where I finish, I feel they know me well enough to respect that. But if it's on a podium, it's better. This is only one of 20, though. It's a long season. How optimistic? And I know we haven't even put a car on the track yet in anger. Yeah. But do you feel good going into this year that it can be a really successful year for you? I do feel good. Yeah, I feel like I don't expect to come out here and dominate the whole weekend. I don't think we're at that level of confidence yet. But I do feel good with what we have and what we can build from here. So yeah, even if we don't, let's say, get on the podium this weekend, let's see. But if we don't, I don't doubt it will be too long till we are up there.
Good luck, mate.
Cheers.
Daniel Ricciardo then hopeful of a podium, if not a win here this weekend on home soil. And obviously we don't know what the competitive order is going to be. Red Bull did look good in pre-season testing. They had a few issues with their power unit, which they hoped to have got better. The big question from everybody, though, after pre-season testing was the car that we saw in pre-season testing actually the one that we're going to see racing? It looked so simple compared to what we saw from Ferrari and Mercedes that a lot of people say that can't simply be it. Or is it simply the fact that in this new aero formula, Adrian Newey's got it right and everyone else has got it wrong? You'd have to say if you're doing something massively different to Adrian Newey in an aero formula, you might be doing something wrong. Time will tell. So from Red Bull Racing and Daniel Ricciardo to his former teammate Sebastian Vettel, there's Kimi Räikkönen sitting over there. Decided to do no media today, don't know why, but these new physical cars should suit somebody like Kimi Räikkönen. This could be Kimi's season. It could be Ferrari's season. They have looked blisteringly quick in pre-season testing with a car that, while at times looks a handful, also looks very complete. And as we said, the times looked incredible. If that relates to race pace and qualifying pace, there is Sebastian Vettel right there. Could this be a red season? It's all shaping up beautifully for them. But we've been here before. Don't forget, this time last year we arrived in Australia. Vettel and Räikkönen had been topping testing, but it didn't work out in their favour. Are they just showboating, or have they got the pace? Sebastian, we arrived here this time last year and Ferrari had a really promising pre-season testing. You've had a very promising pre-season testing this year as well. In your heart, though, do you feel that this year the promise is real?
Well, I don't think we ever made any promises, but yeah, I think since last year a lot of things have changed to the better. I think the team's got more mature. We've developed. I think all of us, the way we work, the way we approach. So plenty of positives. How it impacts, and how we will be, how strong we will be in comparison to others, we don't know. I think testing is easy to get misled, or misled. So we'll focus on ourselves and see what we can do.
Red Bull and Mercedes say that you guys are the favourites. Does that place undue pressure on you, or is it a flattering?
It doesn't change anything for us. I think if we turn out to be, then that's good news for us. If not, it's not a disaster. I think we know that we have a long way, a long and steep road ahead of us, and we're willing to, keep boxing. And there's a lot of stuff that we still have to improve. We still need to work on, which we're ready to do.
Sebastian Vettel then trying not to get overly excited about his prospects. I think he's been in that position before of having too high expectations on a season that hasn't worked out for Ferrari. They do appear good, but as somebody mentioned to me today, if anybody can find a way to throw it all away, probably Ferrari. It's a team that has such complicated politics, and which has, over the last few seasons, when they've been in a position to win, they have, on occasion, thrown it all away. Have they resolved those issues? Have they resolved the internal politics? Have they got over their strategic flaws in able to place themselves at a good point, if indeed the car is as competitive as we think it is, to fight not just for race wins, but potentially for championships? One team that hopes they haven't is Mercedes-AMG Petronas, of course. New driver lineup for Mercedes-AMG this year. Lewis Hamilton stays on board. Is he fearful of the threat posed by Ferrari? And what does he think of his new teammate on the other side of the garage, Valtteri Bottas? Let's hear from Lewis and from his new teammate, the Finn Valtteri Bottas. Lewis, this season could be quite spectacular. How much are you looking forward to it? How much do you fear the challenge possibly posed by Ferrari and Red Bull?
Well, I don't fear anything except, except for when I'm in Australia. Spiders, snakes, like in the toilet. Bit worried about those things, but generally, no. When I'm competing, I don't have any fears of. I don't know why. I've just never really had that. Coming here, feel that Ferrari are the favorite, but I'm excited, if anything, to figure out where we are, where we stand, whether we're ahead or they're behind, or we're behind. And whichever scenario it is that we face as a team, I know I've got the best team, and I know that we can catch up or stay ahead. One of the ways. Having that confidence makes it so much. Makes it just amazing to arrive knowing you've got the best team, you've got the best good guys behind you, you've got a great relationship, a great history together, and I'm excited to be one of their drivers that hopefully tries to power them to the championship.
You've got a new guy on the other side of the garage. That slight element of the unknown, is that a healthy thing?
I think so. I expect nothing from the best, but the best from him, and I look forward to our battles. I have no idea what it's going to be like, but all I can do is apply myself the best way I can possibly, make sure I'm as fit and prepared the best way I can be. And if it doesn't go fantastically well, I've got to work harder. That's how it is. And it's been a real blessing for the team, I think, in a positive way. Having have fresh blood, fresh ideas, fresh energy. So I'm excited to see that blossom through the year.
You arrive here in Australia in the seat vacated by the Formula One world champion. Does that apply any extra pressure?
For me, it doesn't. I just feel it's a great thing for me, For sure, there's no bigger shoes to fill, But I think it's just a massive opportunity for me, for my career, for my life, and something I've always dreamed of, to be part of a team like this. So, just very happy and just keen to get going. It's been a long wait during the winter. Even since testing, it feels a long time, and just want to get going.
How well settled into the team do you feel? Did you feel you're ready to go, ready to compete and take it to Lewis?
I feel very ready. I feel we definitely made the most out of the time we had from mid-January until now with the team, with the testing, with all the days I spent at the factory. I feel well prepared. There's no question marks really for me. So for sure it will be a big learning curve for me. Every single day there's going to be something new, but that's how it goes. And I feel I'm ready to perform on the level where the car can be.
What's your biggest challenge this year? Beating Ferrari, beating Red Bull, beating Lewis, or beating your own expectations?
I don't know yet. We will see. We are expecting a close fight, at least to start with the season, with at least Ferrari. Red Bull, we never don't want to underestimate. So that could be a big challenge, but for sure also in a personal level for me, going up against Lewis is a great challenge and at the same time a great opportunity. So I look forward to seeing how things develop, how we're going to be pace-wise. You know, me, Lewis, us, Red Bull, Ferrari. It's going to be interesting.
Welcome back to Paddock Pass here in Melbourne. Now, usually Thursday, today is our first day of media activity. Not so for the first Grand Prix of the year. There's always a whole lot more going on around the periphery before we make it to the circuit. And yesterday was the day for all the media time here in Melbourne. It wasn't such a nice day, really, yesterday. Grey, cloudy skies, a bit cold and windy. So what better place to be than the beach? We went down and spoke to Sergio Perez at Force India and also to Carlos Sainz Jr. down there about their hopes and their prospects for the 2017 season. Checo, here we stand at the beginning of a new era for Formula One. How ready are you? How ready is the team?
I think we're really very much there. Obviously, the car is not where we would like to start, you know. But as I said before, it's not important where you are in Melbourne. It's where you are in the final race in Abu Dhabi. I have plenty of confidence in the team. I think we will develop massively the car, and we just have to do it better than our competition. But yeah, I have high hopes for this season. I'm still very optimistic after what I've seen in winter testing.
From what we've learned in winter testing, it seems the cars are very different to drive than last year's cars. You had the last generation of cars absolutely to your taste. So many podiums that you achieved with that. Is this new type of car going to play to your strengths, or is it something you're going to have to learn?
I think it will play to my strengths. You know, I think the very best drivers will come out on top, still with this level of generation of cars. I mean, I've been good in the past because my race pace has been good. I've managed tire degradation well. So obviously I have to adapt to a new style of driving, but I'm very confident that I've learned a lot over the winter, and I will develop massively as a driver how to operate with these cars during the course of the season. So definitely looking forward, and I believe that I will be on top of this new generation of cars.
Force India had an amazing year last year, obviously finishing fourth in the Constructors' Championship. You've got a new sponsor on board for this year. It looks like it's a big deal and a long-lasting deal. How important is that in what you described it with the the developmental race and keeping up with the other teams?
I think it's a massive boost for the team, and yeah, as I said before, I'm so confident that the team will do well and that we will be in a great shape during the season.
How much fun is this year going to be?
I hope a lot. I hope that we can race, that we can follow all the cars, that we can have good racing, that the fans enjoy it. I'm always very positive, as obviously when you start a new season. So I hope we can have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Checo. Carlos, all the way through last year, you were saying you were very hopeful for this season because the team had so long to prepare. Then Mercedes launched their car, and it looks so similar to yours. Were you disappointed when you saw the Mercedes that it was so similar to yours?
Well, you cannot be disappointed, no? when you see your car looks the same as the car that's been winning for the last 3 years without anyone really who could actually fight with them, no? So quite excited when I saw that. I still think we are not in the same league than Mercedes, but very, very happy that the team have done a solid job through the winter, and we can now have a weapon to fight not only the first races, but I hopeful of fighting the whole year.
It's not been an easy pre-season, though. There have been some slight difficulties. Does that mean you come into Melbourne with a little less optimism than you might have had?
We are going to be very cautious now about the first race, because we know we are a bit down on mileage compared to our main competitors. We know we've had a tough winter, particularly the first week. But on the other hand, I felt like the last week of testing went a lot better. Suddenly we could put some laps in without reliability issues and start discovering the potential of the car, the real potential of the car. And I am a bit more positive than in the first week, and we arrive here a bit more happy and motivated.
What is the potential in the car?
I think it's high. It's going to get hopefully higher through the season, because it means we can start adopting new ideas into the car after what we've seen from the top teams, what they've brought to the test, new ideas, and once we realize the weaknesses of our car, we can start developing, and there is where I believe Toro Rosso can do a strong job.
You did an amazing job last year with a year-old engine. What can you do this year with an up-to-date engine?
Yeah, that's another positive this year, that we're going to be able to develop not only the chassis but the engine. That last year we were completely stuck with it, and it's an engine with potential. You know, if you would have a Mercedes, then you would think, I already have the best engine, so I don't know how much it's going to be developed, but with a Renault engine, I think they still have a lot of potential to come through the year, and hopefully this we will feel it, and some tenths will come through the season.
You had an amazing Australian Grand Prix last year, an amazing season as well. Do you know where you're going to be this weekend, or is it really too early, even after testing, to know?
Yeah, it's the $1 million question, no? Where everyone's going to be. I'm hopeful we can be in the top 10, but I don't know, honestly. We might be P14 or we might be P7, no? In qualifying. It can vary that much in Formula One, especially the midfield. I think if there's one thing clear about testing is that the midfield is extremely tight, and it's going to be really competitive. And to fight against teams like Renault, Williams, that have a bit more budget than us and a bit more resources than us, is not going to be easy at all, no? But I'm looking forward to it. I trust a lot in the team that I have by my side, and I believe we can do a strong season.
This is not just the beach in Melbourne. This is Australia's sporting capital. You've got the MCG, Melbourne Cricket Ground, and just littered all over the place are these huge sporting arenas, and perhaps none bigger than the Rod Laver Arena, of course, where the Australian Open tennis is held. We were there this morning. Frank Montagny. We were there this morning meeting his countryman, Romain Grosjean, who of course had such a fabulous race here last year. Haas F1 team's debut run here to the points at the start of what was an incredible first few races for the American team. Can he possibly hope to replicate that giant killing performance as Haas F1 embarks on their second season in Formula One? Romain, here we are, back at the scene of what was an amazing debut for Haas last season. Is that still fresh in your mind when you arrive here in Melbourne?
Yeah, it is. I mean, every circuit you've got good and bad memories, of course. Coming here to Melbourne, I remember last year, the race with no pit stop, managing to hold the 6th position for our debut and scoring points. It was pretty awesome. So very excited to be here. It's going back to school after long holidays, and everyone is super excited. So, you know, it's always good to come here. You never know where you are, how the car is going to do compared to the others, if you're going to make it to the end of the race or not. But so much question marks just brings the excitement up.
Can you possibly hope to repeat what you did last season? Not just here in Melbourne, but it was such an impressive season as a whole for Haas.
Yeah, it was an impressive season for a debut in Formula One, and I think the team is stronger this year than it was last year. A lot of people are expecting that second year you would struggle, and I think actually the team looks much stronger, the car looks good. So I think generally we're in a very positive spiral, and we're going to try to use that. You know, if the start is a bit slow, then we're going to gradually improve. If the start is great, then we're just going to try to stay on top.
Nobody had a perfect pre-season in testing. Do you feel prepared? Does the team feel prepared arriving here in Melbourne, or is there still a lot to learn?
There's still a lot to learn, and if you look at what we call the menu, which is the test items we want to go through, the list is pretty long. So, you know, winter testing is great, but 4 days in a car per driver, it's very short to go around everything. So, you know, we're not ready, but I guess the same for more or less everyone, and we're just going to discover more and more through the races and the season.
Awesome. How different and how difficult are the cars this year?
They are proper beast. They're going fast. They're sexy from outside. They're cool to drive. You can push them to the limit. You can really feel the G-forces in the corner. Everyone's been working hard on the physical side, which was pretty exciting. Question marks, the overtaking. Is it going to be much harder or not? DRS would have a bigger effect. Following another car would be harder, but only racing would tell.
Hopes for the weekend? What would be a good weekend here in Australia for you?
Lovely weekend would be to stand on the podium on Sunday and enjoy some champagne after the race. Good weekend would be points, but anyway, as I say, it's only the first one out of 20, so no rush to get good.
Now, Force India will look a little bit different this season. Vast swathes of pink on the car. Brand new sponsor, BWT. Did we talk to Sergio about that? I think we did. I can't remember. The interview was yesterday, and jet lag is killing me, and I'm not entirely sure whether we spoke to him about it. We probably did. Anyway, he has a new teammate this year. Nico Hülkenberg has moved on to Renault, leaving a seat open for young Esteban Ocon, who impressed so much last year, doing half the season with Manor before being picked up by Force India for this year. So we caught up with the guy who He's not really a rookie, but this is his first full season in Formula One. And whereas last year he was pulled in very much at the last minute, having not prepared himself to race in Formula One, this year he is fully prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. So here we are, the start of your first full season in Formula One. Last year you were a GP3 champion, you trained to be in DTM, and you ended up in Formula One. How much better prepared do you feel this year, knowing that this is your sole focus?
Yeah, I feel very well prepared, Will. I mean, since the GP3, I didn't feel like I had a great preparation like this. So it really reminds me of the good memories from back then. And no, I cannot be more prepared than now. I mean, I really look forward to start the race and start the week.
When the car launched, you said that driving it in a simulator, it felt more like a Formula 3 car, really physical, really aggressive. Now you've tested the car. Would you say that's true?
I would say that's true, but it's not as much true as I expected. We expected it to be a lot faster. It's still a lot faster, but not as much as we thought.
Is that down to the car not being as competitive as you'd hoped, or just in general?
Just in general. I think every car, they are not as competitive as we thought in the sim.
Where do you think you are competitive order-wise? I know it's impossible to say, and what we say tomorrow will be proved immediately wrong by the time the cars go out. But
Probably.
Yeah, where do you think you guys are after winter testing? Are you as prepared as you hoped you'd be for the team?
I think everything's possible at the moment. We didn't do a race yet, so we can't really know where we are. I think everyone has had a lot left in the pocket, as we said. So no, let's see. I think the team did a good job over the winter with the car. So I hope it's going to be very competitive, for this race.
Welcome back to Paddock Pass. Now, in the last segment, you saw interviews with both of the Force India drivers, and we touched briefly on the fact that cars are going to be pink this season due to a new sponsor. I think what's really important with that, what's really important to think about is the fact that it's not just about a change of colour for the team, but the fact that a sponsor has come along and has paid enough money to change not just the livery of the car, the garage panels, the press releases, the team logo, the drivers' helmets, the drivers' suits, the boots, everything. Somebody at the team said to me yesterday, this is the most significant investment the team has ever had. And of course that comes off the back of them finishing fourth in the Constructors' Championship last year. An amazing thing for the team. And let's see how they go this year. Let's also see how Williams goes. That man there, we got all emotional last year because he retired. And then he unretired because Valtteri Bottas left the team because Nico Rosberg retired. They suddenly needed an experienced driver. Felipe comes out of retirement and he's back. Is he looking forward to it? Did he ever want to leave in the first place? Felipe Massa, I think it's safe to say, really rather enjoying his unretirement.
I don't know.
You're back. You made us cry, man, last year.
You especially.
I feel silly now. I got all upset.
Me too, man.
Did you have to give the car back?
For sure not. For sure not. I mean, then I will cry, even again. So, man, things happens for a reason, and I'm here. Maybe it was not the right time to stop. I'm not focused on that. So, yeah, really looking forward to carry on. I mean, looking forward to do a good season and maybe to still doing something that I enjoy. I was planning to carry on in Formula One if I had the opportunity to work for a team and to be competitive, to be important, to be here, not just to be here, to be in the grid, which this I don't care. So maybe I found the opportunity to carry on and doing like a proper job. Hopefully we can do a great job this year, with a good car, competitive. So, and we start here, so we will have the answer here. So I didn't expect on that time to be here now. Maybe I expect to be at home eating more, a little bit more fat, and which is not the case. So I'm really fit and looking forward, motivated, and I really hope we can have another great season in front.
The emotion around Brazil and the announcement of your retirement, even earlier than that in Monza, and it was very emotional. Was that perhaps because you weren't ready to go, and there was all of that emotion because you felt it wasn't maybe the right time?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it was emotion because I didn't expect maybe that, the people, for sure the fans I expect, but, the people around, to really give a love, something that maybe you think you don't have so much here in this sport, that you have a lot of competition between teams, between drivers, and then when you see that people likes you, and you have a lot of respect, and I think that was really emotion. So, but then everything works in a different way, and I'm 35 years old, I'm fit, and for sure I can do, some more. Maybe one, maybe two championships in front. For sure I can do in a good way. So I didn't stop because of that. I was also planning to carry on and race in another category. So, but I stopped because I want to be here if I feel important.
Last time we had cars like this, sticky tyres, lots of aero, you very nearly won the World Championship 2008. How excited are you about going back to these kind of cars, and particularly given how quick the car looked to be going in testing?
I am very excited. So for sure, I cannot say I will be there fighting for the championship because it's impossible to answer that. So definitely, we saw a very strong Mercedes, a very strong Ferrari, maybe a Red Bull, teams that we will be really 100% motivated to fight with. But I think here we'll have the answer to see where we are, But I'm really looking forward to be competitive, to take the best out of my cars, to take the best out of these new rules, to understand things in a good way, to help the teams to make the car more competitive race by race, to work in the developing side. Also with Lance, to trying to pass everything I can to him, to make the team consistent in the points as well, race by race. So yeah, really ready, happy and motivated for all of these things.
One thing is certain, when Felipe Massa retires next, I will not give so much emotion away. He has had all my tears. That's it. Emotionless at his next retirement. Now, somewhere amongst these journalists here is an F1 debutant. Lance Stroll has courted some controversy throughout his career, given the sort of swift ascent he's made through the formulas, thanks predominantly to the major funding supplied by his father. That's kind of carried through to his ascent into Formula One. Some people saying, does he deserve to be here? Has it been too much too soon? He's had a couple of crashes in testing. Personally, I think we can only judge him on what he does now that he's in the sport, not on how he got here. He's a guy I've known a good few years. He has matured tremendously over the past few seasons. Lance Stroll is about to make his Formula One debut. Every young racing driver's dream. How does he feel as he embarks on what will be his first Formula One weekend? How are you, chap?
Good, yourself?
Really good. Here we are. This is it. Formula One debut. Are you ready? Are you excited?
Yeah, I am. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. Everything, it's good.
I'm sure. What is it like standing here right now doing all of these media sessions, knowing that tomorrow it begins? Your lifelong dream to be a Formula One driver, it's properly here tomorrow.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a very special moment. It's a very special weekend for me, and I'm looking forward to the whole experience.
How do you clear your mind of everything and just make sure you can concentrate on the job at hand rather than anything that goes around the periphery?
Like always, there's always a bit of noise. Maybe now there's a bit more noise, but you just got to focus on your stuff. Listen to the people that are really important around you, and enjoy the weekend and go out and do what you love to do.
Having such an experienced team in Williams, an experienced teammate in Felipe, Paddy Lowe joining the team as well, how well backed up do you feel by having such an experienced group of people at Williams?
I feel like it's a great environment now at Williams. Felipe, Paddy, everyone, all the mechanics, everyone, they're all a great group of guys at Williams, and I'm very comfortable on the team. So so far so good.
You're keeping your cards very close to your chest. Are you trying to keep expectations low?
For the moment, for this weekend, yes. I don't think it's necessary to set the bar ridiculously high. I think that would be the wrong approach. There will be a lot to learn. You have to set the benchmark realistically. The track's new. A lot of things are new for me first weekend, and there's still 19 more races after this. So hopefully a clean weekend. There'll be a lot to learn, but like always, I'll be going out there and doing the best I can. Thank you.
Now, some of you may have noticed in that last little link that Lance Stroll, since walking into the Formula One paddock this morning, has aged quite rapidly. That's because that's obviously not Lance Stroll, that's Paddy Lowe, who has returned to Williams, the team where he started his Formula One career when I was still at school. Anyway, things are looking quite positive for Williams this year, but one team who, like Williams, a fantastic heritage in this sport, a fine sort of British bastion of competitiveness in Formula One, McLaren are struggling, and I think that's the politest way to put it. They've had a really difficult pre-season that reminds us all so much of 2 years ago when Honda first came back as their engine partner. The power unit appears unreliable, and when it is reliable, it appears underpowered. The frustrations are clear, not just through team management, but with the drivers as well. How much more of this can Fernando Alonso take? How frustrating is it for you to see everybody having made a step forward, and from where we are post-testing, you're almost back to where the team was 2 years ago?
Yeah, definitely frustrating, and I'm not happy with, but it's the way it is, and hopefully we can improve the situation. I already asked the team, to have a reaction, very strong and very soon, because obviously this is Formula One. No one will wait for you more than 1 day, more than 1 hour. This is not a charity game. This is just Formula One. So we need to improve the situation, change the gear, raise our level and compete hard and hopefully enjoy the challenge.
So that's your lot from the first paddock pass of the 2017 Formula One season. Today's been a bit of an odd one, to be completely honest with you. Normally, the Thursday here in Australia, we've got some idea of what the competitive order will be after pre-season testing, but we arrive here with new cars, new regulations, and everything we think we know now by this time tomorrow could be proved to have been demonstrably false. So it's with that we have a lot of, I think, excitement and anticipation for the season and for the weekend ahead. As I said, new cars, new regulations. Will there be a new running order? Only time will tell, and you can catch it all this weekend on NBCSN. Here are your times to make sure that you don't miss a single bit of it at what is sure to be the beginning of a fascinating season. As I said, that's your lot from Paddock Pass. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you over the course of the weekend.